I didn't know him very well. That's the first thing I should say. He wasn't my friend. He was a friend of a friend, someone who had been added to the plan last minute, the way people sometimes are, without much discussion. By the time I heard his name, everyone else already seemed comfortable with him. There were 6 of us in total. We'd planned the hike weeks earlier. A simple trail, nothing extreme. A full-day hike through a forested route that was supposed to loop back toward the parking area by evening. I almost didn't go. But my friend Emily insisted. She said it would be good for me to get away from work, from screens, from noise. She said the group was chill, experienced, and safe. That's when she mentioned him. "Oh, and Aaron's coming too," she said casually. "Aaron?" I asked. "He's Jason's friend. You'll like him. He's quiet." I remember that word clearly, quiet. On the morning of the hike, we met near the trailhead, just after sunrise. Everyone was half awake, sipping coffee, adjusting backpacks, laughing too loudly in the cold air. Aaron stood a little apart from the group. He wasn't doing anything strange, not staring, not avoiding us, just standing still, like he was waiting for instructions he already knew wouldn't come. When Emily introduced us, he smiled politely and said my name back to me like he'd practiced it. "I've heard a lot about you," he said. I laughed and assumed he was being friendly. People say things like that all the time. The hike started easily enough. The trail was wide, clearly marked, and busy with other hikers at first. Conversation flowed naturally. Someone played music softly from their phone until we lost signal, and the sound cut off mid-song. After that, the forest felt quieter. The trees grew closer together. As we moved deeper in, the path narrowed. The air changed cooler, heavier. Our group spread out a bit, adjusting to different walking speeds. I noticed Aaron falling into step beside me without saying anything. At first, I appreciated it. He didn't push conversation, didn't make small talk. He just walked, matching my pace perfectly, like he'd done it before. "Do you hike often?" I asked eventually, more to fill the silence than out of curiosity. "Enough," he replied. That was it. After about 2 hours, we stopped near a clearing to rest. Someone checked the map and suggested a short detour, a scenic overlook that wasn't part of the main loop, but was supposed to be worth it. We voted. Everyone agreed. That was the first mistake. The detour trail was narrower and less traveled. The ground was uneven, roots crossing the path like veins. We walked single file for a while. At some point, I slowed down to retie my shoe. By the time I looked up, the group had rounded a bend ahead of me. I could still hear them, voices, footsteps, so I wasn't worried. I finished tying my shoe and started walking again. That's when I realized Aaron was still behind me. "I thought you went ahead," I said. He shook his head. "Didn't want you to be alone." It felt like a considerate thing to say, protective even. I thanked him and kept walking. The trail split not long after, 2 narrow paths, both worn enough to look legitimate. I stopped. "I think they went left," I said, unsure. Aaron glanced at the ground, then at the trees, then down the right path. "They went this way," he said confidently. "How do you know?" "I saw Jason's bag swing this direction," he replied, without hesitation. I trusted him. That was the second mistake. We walked for about 10 minutes before the forest began to feel wrong, not dangerous, just unfamiliar in a way that made my chest feel tight. The light filtered through the trees, differently here, dimmer, like the canopy was thicker. I don't hear them anymore, I said. Aaron didn't slow down. They're ahead. Should we call out? He paused, then turned to look at me. No, he said softly. Sound travels strangely here. That should have scared me. But his tone was calm, reassuring, like someone who knew this place well. After another few minutes, the trail faded completely. It didn't end. It just dissolved. Grass replaced dirt. Leaves covered any sign of footprints. I stopped walking. Aaron, I said, my voice lower now. I think we're lost. He looked around, as if noticing it for the first time. Seems like it, he agreed. I pulled out my phone. No signal, no GPS. We should go back, I said, retrace our steps. He didn't respond right away. Instead, he watched me. Not my face, my hands, the way I held the phone. They won't come looking, he said finally. What? The group, he clarified. They'll assume you went ahead or that you turned back. A chill moved through me. That's not true, I said quickly. Emily would notice. Aaron smiled slightly. She already thinks you overthink things. My stomach dropped. I never told you that, I said. You don't have to, he replied. That's when I realized something important. No one in the group had really talked about Aaron. He'd been there, yes, introduced, accepted, but no one had shared stories about him. No one had mentioned how long they'd known him. He was simply included. I stepped backward. I'm going to call out, I said. Before I could raise my voice, he spoke again gently. If you shout, you'll panic, he said. And if you panic, you'll make mistakes. Why are you saying this? I asked. Because, he said, this is the part where people usually ruin things. I turned and ran. I didn't have a direction. I just moved. Branches scraping my arms, breath burning my lungs. I shouted Emily's name until my throat hurt. Behind me, I heard footsteps, unhurried, steady, not chasing, following. I tripped and fell hard. The wind knocked out of me. When I looked up, he was standing a few feet away. You shouldn't separate from the group, he said calmly. There is no group, I shouted. There's just you. He considered that. Not yet, he said. Something in his voice told me he wasn't speaking metaphorically. I scrambled to my feet and kept running until the forest finally opened up. Sunlight, a familiar path, distant voices, real voices. I screamed. This time, someone answered. Hands grabbed my shoulders. Emily's face filled my vision, pale and confused. Where did you go? She asked. We've been calling you. I turned to point behind me. Aaron wasn't there. The group insisted Aaron had turned back hours ago. Jason swore he'd only met him once before, at a party, and hadn't even invited him on the hike. Someone else said they thought I had brought him. No one could agree on where he came from. When we reached the parking lot, there were 6 cars, but only 5 of us. That night, Emily messaged me. She said she'd been thinking about Aaron and tried to look him up on social media. She couldn't find him, but she did find something else, an old missing persons post from years ago. A woman who vanished during a group hike, last seen walking behind the others with a man No one remembered inviting. The comments called him a friend of a friend. I still hike sometimes, but I never walk at the back of the group anymore. And if someone quiet joins last minute, one knows very well. I make sure I remember exactly when they leave, because some people don't get lost in the forest. They wait for someone else to.